All right, Bobby, you're our intro guy.
Today is a special day, and today is a podcast where we talk about that special day. Hi, I'm Bobby Parker.
And I'm Joey Nickel.
Welcome to Today Is.
All right, okay. All right, so we're in a special venue today. So we did a recording on, what was the day we did? Creativity Day.
Creativity Day,
We did
yes.
Creativity Day at the bar of the Comedy Zone a couple weeks ago, and we decided to do another one in this area. This is a low table. This table's a lot lower than I expected, so I'm going to raise that mic up a little bit. But we are in the restaurant next to the bar.
Next to the
Comedy Zone. So we are now two businesses removed from the Comedy Zone at the Ramada Inn. So we're here recording today. It just kind of worked out to do it here. Bobby had a work thing that he blew off, and because he hates his coworkers.
Exactly.
What was the work thing?
People were in town, and we had to go meet them. It was fun.
Clients or
Other people in my group that had just work at a different site. So it was really cool. I'm glad I got to hang out with people outside of work, but it was still a work event. I like them, but I would rather be at a comedy club or a restaurant adjacent to a bar adjacent to a bar club.
Adjacent to a club. But this room has its own bathroom. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, this restaurant. This is Gigi's is the name of the restaurant. I have never paid for Gigi's.
I did one time.
Yeah?
It was almost probably 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was before I did stand-up, or right when I was starting to do stand-up, like maybe an open mic before taking several years off. I was here for a show, and I came, I'm like, I'll have food here. I had no idea. I'm like, oh, let's eat.
I've eaten here only for free, and that is when the headliner, when they offer, we're in between shows, kind of, and they're like, hey, we're in between shows if you want to go in and get whatever's left on the buffet. It is a buffet. You can't see it, but there's a buffet and everything, and it's like, they'll let us. They'll let the opener sometimes come in with the headliner and get a little food.
Yeah. I've never been given that offer. Never.
Either you've never worked with a headliner that Leah likes, or Leah doesn't like you, or
I'm going with option number 2, most likely.
But yeah, so I've eaten here a couple times just doing that, and I had the breakfast once.
Ooh.
Because actually the first time I emceed here, so very first time I got paid at the Comedy Zone, somebody was at the show who was there for a conference,
right.
They were that was part of their package, was going to the comedy show, and then part of that package was staying in the suite. But the guy's like, I'm not going to stay in the suite, and he was like, they gave me these tickets for free breakfast if you want to come get free breakfast. So I came back to the Comedy Zone the next morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Friday morning, and we came and ate the breakfast for free.
Yeah, it's free breakfast. I mean,
yeah.
Yes, I would have driven for free breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm a breakfast. Breakfast food's the best.
Breakfast food is the best. I do love breakfast food. The problem is the time of day you have to eat it most of the time.
That's the thing. I usually have breakfast food any other time of day.
Yeah,
me
too.
I'm not.
I hardly ever eat breakfast food actually during breakfast. I do love a good breakfast buffet though. That's the problem.
Oh, that's the best part about staying at a hotel.
Yeah.
When you have an unexpected breakfast buffet.
When you got a good breakfast buffet that you don't expect to be good.
Yeah.
I stayed at one in Orlando recently that it said continental.
Okay.
When I booked it, it was like free continental breakfast. They had eggs, they had waffles, they had bacon. They had sausage. I was like, this is way more than this. Is a hot breakfast.
Yeah,
you got to know your classifications.
Right. That is better than a continental.
Oh
breakfast.
Yeah, continental breakfast is muffins and
maybe a bagel.
Probably toast and bagels and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, it was a hot. That's a hot breakfast.
Yeah, a croissant if they're real.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had biscuits and gravy even. It was everything. They had a full spread.
Have you seen the pancake machines? Like not the waffle makers, the pancake
I have
machines.
heard, and I have not seen. I have heard the legend of the pancake machines.
I have run into these in hotels probably.
Isn't that just a
3 times in the last.
Isn't that just
year.
a pan? Like what? Isn't like a pancake machine just a pan?
It's a giant box, and you hit a button, and there's a little conveyor, and it
drops them down automatically?
It drops the batter onto the
okay.
conveyor, and it cooks one side, and then it kind of flips over onto another conveyor, cooks the other side, then it like falls down on your plate.
All right, now I want breakfast food.
Oh,
now we gotta go eat.
fantastic.
Now I want to go eat breakfast food. Here's the thing: the breakfast food we always go eat after shows is Waffle House, which I love.
Yes.
But I can't eat their waffles.
You can't.
I get sick every time I eat the waffles at Waffle
Okay.
House. I don't know why. I don't know what's in the waffles at Waffle House, but nothing else there makes me sick. Nothing else makes me sick. Period. Like I eat whatever. I don't have a problem with any foods except really. I mean, I'll get heartburn every once in a while if I eat too much pepperoni.
Sure, yeah.
You know, I'll definitely get some heartburn from some pepperoni, but like. I get sick. Like I get sick to my stomach, and I've tested it, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm gonna try it again. Maybe it was something else. Always get sick every time and they have a strawberry shortcake waffle right now at Waffle House.
That sounds great.
I know.
I will say, as much as I love Waffle House and the waffle, that's like my least favorite part of the Waffle House. Like this, their all-star breakfast. I love it. I've eaten so many, but I love the hash browns.
Yeah, I do like the hash browns.
And
I like the
eggs.
hash browns. I like the eggs. They have the best eggs.
Oh,
I don't know why they have the best eggs. Maybe it's because they use cast iron skillets.
And like, yeah,
I don't know why, but I love their eggs. Like their eggs are good. I get eggs other places. I don't like it. I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
Some places I do, but like I'm not a big fan of Denny's eggs. Their eggs are not as good as Waffle House.
Denny's, I don't like their breakfast foods as much.
I am not a big fan of Denny's, and I used to be. That used to be the go-to. When I lived in Utah, they don't have Waffle House, so like the go-to 24-hour place was Denny's, and that was the one near campus. That's the one we'd always go to, and I went to Denny's recently, and I was not a fan. I'm not a big fan of Denny's.
So up north in Ohio, where I grew up, Perkins was the big one.
Perkins is great. I love Perkins, but they don't have them around here.
Yeah, they don't. And then when I went to school in Pennsylvania, Eaton Park it's a Pittsburgh kind
Is
of
it
place.
specific to Pennsylvania?
It's not. It's based out of Pittsburgh, I think. But there's some in Ohio now. But oh my,
what's it called?
Eaton Park. So
Eaton Park.
Eat the letter N and then
Wait,
park.
do you park in your car and eat, or do
No,
you go inside?
You go inside. I have no.
And it's good though.
It is
I'm gonna have to try. I'm
fantastic.
gonna be in Ohio next week.
And they
Actually, this week. As you're listening to this, I am in Ohio right now.
And they're also known for their smiley face cookies. They've got like little sugar cookie things. They're well known for it. That's one of their things.
Eaton Park.
Eaton Park.
That is a weird name.
Yeah, if you run across it, great breakfast place, good family.
That's good to know.
Kind of place. If you don't, oh well, next time.
That's good to know. There's something else I was gonna say. Oh, I do. I like IHOP. I like the pancakes at IHOP.
I love their omelets.
Their omelets are great. You know what's actually really good at IHOP is their steak bites.
I've never.
Don't get the steak.
Not steak.
But the steak bites are pretty good. And they're like they fry them up in onions and mushrooms and stuff like that.
That sounds
I got to be honest, it's good food. Like it's not just like good for IHOP,
Right.
but it's actually good. I like it. That's probably my favorite thing there, but it is on the more expensive side as far as IHOP is concerned.
Right.
It's not expensive if you're going to a place that normally serves steak, but it's expensive for IHOP,
Yes.
If you're normally getting the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, then
I do have to say, we've talked about institutions and like regional places. There's 2 places in Jacksonville that are kind of like exploding, both amazing, I think, breakfast food wise.
let me guess.
Okay.
Metro Diner?
Yep.
Yeah. Metro Diner is huge now, which I love. Best biscuits and gravy.
It's very good.
Best biscuits and gravy of any restaurant I've ever been to are there. Well, the Green Turtle in the Keys is pretty good, but best biscuits and gravy in Jacksonville is at Metro Diner.
And also there's Grumpy's.
Grumpy's is great too.
Grumpy's,
I love Grumpy's.
yeah.
By the way, I recently got an ad, probably because I eat at Grumpy's, for opening a franchise.
Yes.
Did you get that ad too?
I've gotten that as
It's
well.
like, you seem like a fat guy that eats at Grumpy's a lot. You might want to open a franchise. Save yourself some money.
And I was like, look at my disposition. You think I would be good at a place called Grumpy's?
Yeah, right. I actually I would consider if I had some seed money or something, if I had some savings, I might consider it because they're very good. They're good restaurants. People like them. They seem to be successful.
Yep.
They close at 2. Like 2 p.m. They're breakfast and lunch only, and brunch, I think, on the weekends. But
and they supposedly have a really, really good meatloaf.
oh, I haven't even tried their meatloaf.
I haven't either.
I've only eaten breakfast foods there.
Exactly.
Their Speaking of waffles, their waffles never make me sick, and they are delicious. And there's themed waffles. Like every day, it's a different type of. There's a different waffle, like a cinnamon toast crunch waffle, or like a strawberry cheesecake waffle, or like a whatever. Just like. Or like a Mounds Bar waffle or something. It'll have like coconut and chocolate on it. Like, it's crazy. Or like a Snickers waffle. Like they just come up with these waffles, like a different one every day, and you can get a half a waffle or a full waffle when you order the specialty ones. Half a waffle is enough. I gotta be honest.
Absolutely.
Especially if we've already eaten some food, then half a waffle's pretty much enough at that point. But Grumpy's is great, and I actually. So when I saw that ad, I was like, that wouldn't be so bad, and we could do a comedy show there.
Yeah.
After it could be it could actually be a comedy club. I don't know if Grumpy's would like it if we turned the franchise into a comedy club, but like it's just an empty space then after 2 p.m.
True.
Like it could legitimately be a comedy club, and it would not interfere with the day-to-day.
You know what? The comedians would love to sit around and cook breakfast food after a show to start prepping for the next day.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
this is a wonderful cyclical thing. Like the customers leave, the comedians start waking up, and they perform. Then the comedians, they're geeked up from the show. They start prepping the food. They will probably ruin a lot of it, but they'll start.
It's the thing is like I don't think they wouldn't have a liquor license though, so that would be
no.
Most comedy clubs have a liquor license, but I don't know if we could get around that. But yeah, I just part of me is like part of me wants to really own a breakfast restaurant. I think because people love breakfast restaurants.
So,
they're very popular right now.
My parents actually ran a breakfast restaurant for a couple years.
Oh, really?
And considered buying a franchise for Dairy Queen.
Oh, a Dairy Queen, huh?
Yeah, and decided hey, this isn't exactly what we want to do. And my parents have been super successful, but I'm like one of the cool things that they happened to do while running that restaurant. It was in Springfield, Ohio, where Jonathan Winters was from. And Jonathan Winters would come in and sit at the counter and just chat with anybody. And it's like one of the coolest guys ever. And it's like it was his hometown. People just like, hey, it's Jonathan Winters. He's in town. He's hanging out. Go talk with him. Like his guy hanging out with Sinatra and whatnot.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was super cool.
In Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield, Ohio.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So breakfast foods are in your blood. They're in your heritage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on with the podcast.
Absolutely.
We're recording these kind of off schedule, so I don't know what we had. Let's see. I don't think I've had any shows since the last podcast. Yeah, not really. Come to the open mics, so yeah, I don't know. Have you had any shows? Are you having any shows this weekend?
This weekend, no.
Have you had? Will you have had shows? That's what I'm trying to say.
Will
you have had shows by next week, whenever this podcast is coming out?
Not scheduled.
Okay.
So, yep.
So same answer.
Yes, same answer.
All right, we do have some fan mail.
Oh, yes.
So if you want to pull that up, we've got 2 fan emails that we're going to read today.
And they are loaded on there.
Let's see. Online therapy. All right. Bobby needs that.
Yes.
All right. Here is this is in response to Creativity Day. When we interviewed Amir here at the lobby bar next to the Comedy Zone, in between the restaurant and the Comedy Zone.
Yes.
Howdy. Another great episode. It wasn't really much it wasn't really much about the actual day, but that's cool. Hey, I feel like it was creative, right?
We were very creative with it.
We're very creative. Did he expect to learn things about Creativity Day? No, that's not what we do on this podcast. You should know by now. Just a little feedback, mostly for Bobby. His wife should find a new job. That place really did her dirty. Yeah, that is. Yeah. They owed her a heartfelt. I think they owe her a heartfelt apology and a raise if they want her back. Yeah, she should have. She should have negotiated for a raise at that point.
She's making a little bit more.
Okay, that's good. Also, not to be mean or anything. All right, that's a weird way to start a sentence. Not to be mean or anything, I can't even pronounce some English words myself, but it's actually pronounced La Quinta. No worries, though. Yeah, but we say La Quinta because it's funnier to say La Quinta. Like, nobody wants to say it how it's supposed to be pronounced.
It's pronounced La Quinta.
La Quinta.
La Quinta.
Yeah, La Quinta. It's Spanish.
So
I think.
I could say it with a true accent, like, hi, we say it at the La Quinta.
La Quinta.
La Quinta. But I choose not to.
I use an iPhone. Okay, there we go. I'm back. All right, so thank you for the fan mail.
Oh, who sent that?
We will take down. We're not giving them any credit for that because they corrected us too much on that one.
Fair enough.
All right, hi friends. I was just thinking about your latest episode. It was so good that I actually found myself taking notes while watching. Oh, this person watched the episode.
Wow, that's impressive.
Looking at them now, the things I put down: 3 Crews Crazy. 3 Crews Crazy. Why did I say? What's 3 Crews? What was that? 3 Crews Crazy. What did I say?
3 Crews is this year.
Yeah.
This calendar year.
I guess because I've been on 3 cruises this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cruise every other month. Because
yes.
we're only 6 months into the year.
That is very crazy.
Anchovies and Slimy and Sellout are making me laugh because they don't really remind me of what I wanted to mention. What?
Anchovies and Slimy and Sellout. Okay.
Yeah. I definitely need more... I definitely need to improve my note-taking skills. Oh, I see what he's saying. So, like, he wrote this stuff down, but does not remember why he wrote this stuff down.
Makes sense.
I definitely need to improve my note-taking skills. It also reminded me of the tendency to bring my 3D printer everywhere. Really? This is a thing people do?
What? Like, I feel
we were talking about this like it was a weird thing. We're like, this person brought their 3D printer, but turns out people do that, apparently.
Like, I feel weird carrying a charger, like a little power strip that I use for, like, all of my devices in my backpack. It's not a 3D printer.
Right. He says, also reminded me of the tendency to bring my 3D printer everywhere only to end up leaving it outside, which always amuses my wife, or maybe not. On a different note, I absolutely loved seeing all the Lego sets displayed behind you on this episode. They looked fantastic. We really need to organize our place so we can set up our collection in a cool way like that. Anyway, I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed the episode. Keep up the fantastic work. Your loyal fan. No, it says your royal fan.
Royal fan.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Have you been crowned or received some sort of knighthood, maybe, since the last time you emailed us? Your royal fan, John, King John.
Oh.
P.S. I just remembered that 3 Crews Crazy reminded me of Tom Cruise Crazy. Okay? A song by Jonathan Colton, which I love. I've never heard of this song. Have you ever heard of this song, Tom Cruise Crazy by Jonathan Colton?
No, but I've referred to some people as Tom Cruise Crazy.
Yeah, that's a very specific kind of crazy. Much better than Jingle Bells by William Shatner. I don't remember if you actually said 3 Crews Crazy or not. I don't know if we did. But, all right, we'll have to look up Tom Cruise Crazy now.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it right now because there might be trade or I will.
Or I'll do this. If you're listening to this at home, you could listen to it right now. Alexa, play Tom Cruise Crazy. So if you're listening to this at home, I just triggered your Alexa to play that song.
All right, Tom Cruise Crazy. It is here. It is a song.
All right. Bobby was skeptical, but now he believes you. So today's podcast, let's see, where are we at? We're about 20 minutes, so we're doing pretty good.
Yep.
Today's podcast is National
Tell an Old Joke Day.
Yeah, National Tell an Old Joke Day. That I felt like that was perfect because we had already planned on recording here at the restaurant adjacent to the bar, adjacent to the Comedy Zone, and so I feel like having the comics around was a good idea for this one. I felt like it was a perfect one. So we're gonna start with one of our comics here. Yeah, you go ahead and come join us.
Absolutely, and
I don't have a stand for you, but I have a mic for you.
right, and I would like to
I'm used to holding a microphone.
point out. So this is Isaiah Burns.
Yeah, this is Isaiah Burns, everybody. He is another comic that lives in Clay County, which is funny.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 Clay County comics on the podcast. We need to get Patrick on the podcast. He's the other comic that lives in Clay County.
Then we'll have a conclave of Clay County comics.
Then we'll have a conclave of Clay County comics. That was pretty good. You just come up with that just now?
Yeah, that's like an old-timey joke, right?
Yeah, there we go.
I love that. Who is going to be our pope though?
Of the conclave of Clay County comics?
Yeah.
Well, Isaiah is the only Catholic in the group, so.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
So I mean, he's the only one eligible to be pope out of the 4 of us. I don't think Patrick is Catholic.
I don't think so.
It's
just me.
I don't think he would know either.
And even me, it's a vague association.
So today, well, first of all, how long have you been doing comedy?
A little over 5 years.
A little over 5 years, and you regular at the Comedy Zone. I've booked you on a few shows here and there.
Yep.
You've run
a couple shows.
Your
Yeah,
own
I've
shows
run a couple,
several
yeah.
times.
Yeah. I've done my own shows. I've done shows with both of you. We've done the best show of my life, at least, in South Florida.
Yeah, we did.
Was that the one at the house or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was a house show for an audience of 4.
I think
4
we
people?
talked about that on maybe our first episode or something, or
Yeah.
it was early on. We talked about that
Yes.
show because we always talk about the shows we've done throughout the week. The podcast audience has heard this story,
It's
not
a great
not
one.
from not no necessarily knowing that you were in it, but they heard the story from Bobby.
Yes. It was definitely one of those experiences. Like it's something like at the time you're like, I don't believe this is happening. and afterwards you're like, I'm so glad I get to tell this story now.
Yeah, that was great. I remember. Ooh, sorry. I'm exhausted.
When you get older, when
Yeah.
you're telling old jokes over and over again, as the day ensues, you get sleepier.
I guess. Well, you guys are just the most boring people I've ever heard. So that's why. No, I'm tired because I've been having some pretty busy. Week. I can't even talk. I've been having some pretty busy week.
Some pretty busy week.
It's been 3 crews crazy.
It's been 3
Yeah.
crews crazy.
Pretty busy week.
Getting sick at Waffle Houses.
Yeah. I might go try that strawberry shortcake waffle and suffer the consequences because it looks so delicious. But
For me, it's the buttermilk. By the way, that's what gets me.
the buttermilk?
Yeah, in their waffles.
Oh, do they put buttermilk in the waffles?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's making me sick.
That could be.
Because I don't think there's buttermilk in anything else.
Nope.
Right?
Well, it depends on the recipe, but it's not as common.
Yeah,
it's the buttermilk.
I don't think they. I mean, they don't put buttermilk in anything else. I don't think.
Yeah.
I thought it was the margarine because they use margarine instead of butter. But I put the margarine in other stuff. Like I'll put it on toast or whatever. It doesn't bother me. I didn't buttermilk, huh?
Yeah.
I bet that's
and
what
they
it
let
is.
it sit for a long time, so it gets all weird.
Could be. Well, like I learned that
Aged.
for IHOP, they use some of their pancake batter in their omelets. So their omelets
so they're
have more
fluffier
more
or
carbs.
doughier?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So,
That's interesting.
But they taste
Just in case
fantastic.
you think
but,
you're eating carb smart,
Right,
Just
but-
know they just put the pancakes in the
Well,
in the omelet.
That's
Just so
genius.
you know.
I bring it up because as I'm looking at it, I'm like, these numbers don't make sense.
right.
Yeah.
and I love it. It's fantastic that
I
it
didn't
works
know
for
that.
them. But
I do
be
make
careful.
good omelets.
Yeah.
All right, Isaiah, what's your joke? What's your tell an old joke?
I'm just gonna tell an old book joke, which is I read a book about anti-gravity. I can't put it down. It's an old dad joke. I'm surrounded by 2 people who are most definitely dads.
Yeah.
Yes. That is one of my favorite old dad jokes. I love that. I've got a question for you though, as far as old jokes go though. Do you remember the first joke you ever told on stage?
I do. I do remember it very, very vividly. It is not a family-friendly joke, so I will not retell it, as this is a family-friendly show.
Yeah, fair enough.
On Self-Reflection Day, we played my first time doing stand-up on the podcast.
Yes.
We played it, the recording of it. And I don't remember what my first joke was, probably because it wasn't a joke, because it was not funny. I think I told one. I think there's only in fact, I don't know that there's no jokes left from that set that I still do at all.
No, I wrote down like 3 of my older jokes. One is definitely the first joke I ever told on stage, and it is awful.
All right, what's your first joke you ever told on stage?
And I bring this up, first joke ever told on stage, because again, it's not a joke. I walked out, hi, my name's Bobby Parker. I've been professionally fat for 4 years. That was it. That I thought that was a joke. It was basically.
Well, it also isn't true.
No,
because you're not nobody's unless you're a professional eater or unless you're like a plus size model.
I went into like, hey, I'm the before picture.
Yeah.
And that was, but that was it. Like, and it was awful.
That's funny.
Terrible joke. Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
I have an old joke. This one is based off of an old book joke, but I used to tell a version of it that I thought was funny. It's a horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?" The horse says, "'Cause I just lost my job." And then the bartender says, "Well, you could maybe work here part-time if you want." And the horse says, "I need something stable."
Nice. Yeah, I love that.
I used to tell that one on stage.
On stage?
Yeah.
Here is
or on floor, depending on the venue.
Here is a joke that I have told on stage, and this is actually one of my favorite dad jokes. I think this is a brilliant joke. I did not write it, which is why I'm kind of embarrassed that I've told it on stage. But I've also presented it as a dad joke. How did Canada get its name? They drew letters from a hat. It's a C, eh? It's an N, eh? It's a
yeah.
And I love that.
Finish it, Bobby.
Do your joke, funny
the
man.
Joke, Bobby.
It's a D, eh?
Here's one of my.
It's not a good joke, but I love accent jokes.
It's so bad. It's good.
I want to tell this joke. It's not family friendly. I'm trying to think if I could make it family friendly and it would still be as funny.
I would have a tough time with that. Yeah.
I can't do it, but it's a good. I'll tell you guys later. It's a good joke though. My dad used to tell this joke. So this is an old joke. Unfortunately, I also told this one on stage one time. It was probably the worst. That was my rock bottom of my comedy career. When I thought I couldn't write comedy, I was like, I am not writing any good jokes. And I was like, I'm just going to tell this joke my dad used to tell me, which is, I think, a joke his dad used to tell him.
Ooh, generational. I like it.
So
terrifying.
You know who Quasimodo is?
Yes.
Yes.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Rings the bell. He decides he wants to go on vacation, so he puts an ad in the paper. And he says, I'm looking for a replacement. Or we're looking for somebody to fill in while I'm on vacation. Nobody responds to the ad except for one dude. It's a little person, and he has no arms.
Ooh.
And he opens the door, and he says, I'm responding to your ad. I'd like to ring the bell for you while you're on vacation. He goes, I don't know how you're going to do that. You have no arms. He says, let me show you. I can do it. Let me show you. So he brings him up to the tower. They go all the way up. The little person with no arms takes a big start, runs, and smacks his face against the bell. And then it rings. It sounds great. He's like, hey, that was great. That could work. He goes, but I need to make sure you can do it more than once, because you're going to have to do it more than once a day. So let's do it again. I just want to see if you can do it again. So he does. He backs up, runs, and before he can get to the bell, he slips on a loose brick and falls all the way down the tower. Splat.
Oh.
The Quasimodo's like, oh no, he just fell, he's dead. So he runs all the way down. By the time he gets down there, the police are already there. They're doing an investigation. They say, do you know this guy? He goes, no, but his face rings a bell.
Again, that is a gloriously bad joke.
Yeah, I told that on stage one time.
Oh,
That's crazy.
that hurts.
I almost quit comedy after telling that.
That's understandable. I think I would have.
So, Quasimodo still wants to go on vacation.
Oh, it continues.
So he puts another ad in the paper. He's like, I still want to go on vacation. I've been doing this forever. He gets another knock at the door. He opens it up. Same little person, no arms. And he said, what? I thought you died. He says, well, that was my twin brother. And I want to honor him, and I want to try to ring the bell for you. And he goes, are you sure? Because your brother died doing this. And he goes, yeah, no, I think I can do it. I think I can be more safe than he was. And he goes, okay. So he takes him up to the tower to test him out. And he does the same thing. He gets a good running start, does the exact same thing, runs up to the bell, smacks his face against the bell. It rings. It sounds great. He goes, all right, great. Sounds like you can do it. Let's do it again. Let's make sure you can do it again. We got to make sure you can do it more than once. So he does it again. He backs up. He gets ready to do his thing, and his foot slips on some water at the top of the tower. He falls, goes all the way down, splat, dead. And he's like, oh, no, not again. Oh, he's like, I can't believe that happened again. So he goes all the way down. By the time he gets down there, police officer's there, same police officer. He goes, do you know this guy? And he goes, no, but he's a dead ringer for his brother.
Please let there be triplets. Please let there be triplets.
I don't have a third one. That makes it even worse that I don't have a third one, because now we're not even following the rules of three.
Audience, come up with a third
Yeah, there's
one.
no third. There's no third.
Yeah.
There's no triplet. Yeah, there's no. Not that I know. Not that my dad would tell me.
That is, like, we used to go to church youth group and have like terrible joke offs, and
Yeah.
that would have been in there. I
I can't believe I have. It is burned in my memory. I have not. I mean, that was told to me when I was a child. Like, I word for word burned in my. Like, I have no way I'm ever forgetting that joke. Like, it's just burned in my
if
memory.
you had
from my
if you had
childhood.
the third one, if you had the triplet, that would have been the most successful joke of all time. You would have made it, dude.
Now I got to come up with another one, but you got to come up with another. I got to think of another phrase that's like,
Right.
fakes rings a bell. He's a dead ringer for his brother. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next time. I'll come up next. Maybe next year. Next year when it's tell an old joke day again. All right, where are we at? We're at about 33 minutes. Okay, we're doing good. Did Dave come in here? I saw him come in here, and then I think he left. Is Dave still here?
Dave's
still
here.
there.
Oh, right.
All right. Well, Isaiah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You got any shows coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, on Friday I'm at Christy B's Comedy Club
Oh, nice.
featuring for Jake Clark.
Oh,
Nice.
Very nice.
And then at the on the 28th I'm at Milk District in Orlando doing new material and the showcase there, and then I'm
All right.
in the Carolinas in July.
Very good.
Very cool, man.
And what? Oh, go ahead.
Social medias?
Yeah, what's your handle?
Just Another Comedian on Instagram, Spiral Tree Entertainment on YouTube.
All right.
Very good. Thank you for joining us, Isaiah.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have you again sometime as maybe
sure.
a full guest.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I love that, and we will do another house show sometime
Yeah.
with an incredibly wet bathroom for no reason.
Still haunts my memories.
The bathroom was wet. The entire thing
The whole bathroom was
The
wet?
whole bathroom
I don't
was
think you
wet.
told me that.
The whole bathroom was wet.
Why?
We don't know. He apologized for it.
He's like, sorry, guys, the bathroom's wet.
The-
Yeah, we understand. We don't understand.
No. Like,
Why is the bathroom wet?
Like I was so happy to not have to touch anything in there.
Okay. Hey, hope you're enjoying the show so far. We recorded this a little while ago, so I'm going to give you some current dates of shows that you can see me at. August 1st, we're back at Really Good Beer Stop in Nocatee. Danny Johnson will be there. August 21st, I will be at Voodoo Brewing in Jacksonville. August 22nd, I'll be in Miramar Beach at the Emerald Coast Theater. That's going to be an awesome show. And August 23rd, I will be at Unleashed Camden. Unleashed in Kingsland, Georgia. So if you want to come check me out, those are some of my August dates. I'll have more coming up. As always, we've got the open mic comedy every Monday at Shantytown Pub in Springfield and Jacksonville. And then we have Lily's Asian American restaurant, open mic comedy every Tuesday downtown. So come check us out. Come see some of our shows. Thank you.
Dave, come on over.
Yeah, we've got coming here to the podcast now. We have Dave Koenig.
And I would like to point out, it seems like everyone who is legally an adult on this show has had a beard except for me.
Yeah, you need to work on that, Bobby.
I am not good at
on this show. You either have to be fat or have a giant beard. So
I'm
the beard hides the fat.
Yeah, that's true. I know you've lost like 150 pounds, but
yeah, I'm putting myself out of this show.
Yeah,
so it's crazy.
All right, Dave. This is Dave Koenig. How long you been? Where you at? How long you been doing comedy?
Coming up on about 4 years now.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it had been that long. 4 years, huh?
Yeah.
So like right after the pandemic and everything?
Yeah, it was shortly after. Yeah, I dropped by a mic. I think I was expecting music that night. Me and Paige went by.
Yeah.
And it was open mic, and I didn't realize how accessible it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
it turns out, turns out you don't. There's no like interview process.
Oh, yeah, I thought you had to like at least know somebody. I had heard comedians do bits about like coming up doing open mics.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
New
York, LA thing. I didn't know it was everywhere.
You need no pre-qualifications to do stand. You just one day you're not a stand-up comic, the next day you're a stand-up comic. That's all it takes.
I think I had a similar experience because I always thought of myself as funny, and I was like, when is somebody gonna ask me to be on stage or something?
Yeah.
Like how do I start? I had no concept.
I had no idea. I knew that I needed to go to an open mic. I knew that much, but I didn't know where any open mics were, and so I came to the Comedy Zone and just joined the class.
Right.
And that's how I met everybody. That's how I met everybody and found the open mics. But yeah, like I knew it, like I knew from like seeing shows about comedy and stuff like that. I'm like, I know I got to go to an open mic at some point, but
yeah, like I said, I remember like Patton Oswalt. He had a bit about doing open mics when he was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like about this guy, Dr. Pepper, a heroin addict or whatever. So I knew about it, but I was like, oh, that's in certain scenes.
Yeah, that's like New York, LA, or Chicago. It's in a big. Yeah, you don't think of like Jacksonville.
Exactly.
Now, to be fair, before my time, but like 15 years ago, there were no open mics in Jacksonville. The comics in Jacksonville who wanted stage time, they had the Comedy Zone. Like you could develop your act, get on the class, and then be part of the crew there. Fred at the time, Fred Posen owned the comedy club. Or you could go to Orlando and do open mics. And so they used to get in cars and go to Orlando.
There was a club down in St. Augustine that you could get time at if you knew Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie Nights. Yeah, that's true. There was Jackie Nights too.
So, but still, like that's one of
there really
that
wasn't
was the name of the club, Jackie Nights.
Jackie Nights, yeah.
Okay.
Jackie Nights Comedy Club. Yeah, I guess it hasn't really existed.
Daytona's had a couple rooms here and there, but not many.
But not many. Yeah, there really was no open mic, like regular open mic that you could just get up every week. Anybody could get up every week. But now at the time, back like 15 years ago, they would go down to the club in Orlando. The club in Orlando had an open mic, and they would book people then to be openers from that open mic.
Down at that Improv down there? Or?
Yeah, it was the Improv, but it wasn't at that location. It was in a different location. Okay. Now it's a Funny Bone, but that Improv, the owner would end up booking Jacksonville comics that were good at the open mic to be openers. And now that's crazy to think of now, like just getting booked to be an opener at a club based on an open mic. because I think there's just it's crazy how many comics. There's too many of them. There's too many comics.
Yes,
we're telling you should quit, Dave. That's what.
I mean, what if you guys are better gatekeepers? I wouldn't be here today. You know.
No, there's
the old
so
guard's
many,
supposed
though.
to keep trash like me out.
Now it is
the
great.
riffraff.
It is great that there's a comedy boom. Like there's so many shows to do now. Like there's so much comedy to do in Jacksonville. What was the first open mic you went to?
Like I say, it was. I went by Voussoir. I was expecting music,
okay.
and then they were doing
okay.
open mic. I asked anybody can sign up. They're like, "Yeah, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Well, let me write 5, and I'll come back next week." And then I did. And
My advice to everyone who is like, how do I start doing open mics? I would go to an open mic for a couple weeks, or at least a week. Just give it 1 week, but I would give it a couple weeks of just watching the open mic. And then you'll get to the point where you'll be like, oh, I can do this. And then you'll get up and realize it's really difficult. But then you'll get up. But you see enough people who it's their first time, or they're just or they're just not that good yet. And it's like it will give you some confidence, because you'll be like, oh, well, I think I could probably do something like this.
yeah.
But that's what anybody who wants to get into it, go to
Well, then
couple weeks
you
of
kind of
open
learn
mics.
the funk
mechanics and stuff,
exactly
yeah.
mechanics. I was
Yeah.
gonna say functions. Yeah, light at 4. You know, if you're
exactly.
doing 5.
Yeah, then it's
Try
much
not to
better if you
run
know
over.
that ahead of time.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Flip side, if you have that kind of crazy confidence where you're showing up at an open mic, you don't know it's an open mic, and you said, hey, I'm just going to go, do it. Just do it.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause why not?
Half of it is confidence, honestly.
Yeah, and what was it? There have been some famous comedians who have done that. Like, they didn't know they were walking into it. Like, oh, okay. I think Foxworthy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, like everyone's like, oh, he's really funny. He should do an open mic, and we're like, hey, we want to see him on stage, and they convinced the club owner to put him on stage, and he got up, and it was the first time, and he won a contest because it's Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
But
Did he? I heard this. This might be just like a rumor. I heard he got his start. He was like I don't know, like a clerk or a manager or something at a grocery store. And when he would do the announcements over the intercom, this for sale, he would come up with a joke, and then people were like, "You're very funny." He started calling into radio stations. He was back when like radio was, the morning radio was kind of a big deal. He would call in and he'd be like that funny guy, and then eventually, they were like, "Yo, you gotta get this guy up."
I know that like that, and there was somebody else whose friends like took him out for an evening, and they're like, oh yeah, you're going on stage.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that a couple times actually, where they're like, yeah, we signed you up, like that's.
And then they end up becoming
becoming a star.
How many times do you think that's out of spite though, where you're like, oh, I'm so tired of this guy's water cooler jokes, like, oh, you think you're so funny? Hey, we signed you up. We signed you up.
I would say 100% of the time. I would say 100% of the time, if somebody is signing you up to do stand-up comedy, they're like, oh, look, we signed you up. They're not being supportive. They're being jerks to you.
Yeah, you got too big for your britches. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna show this guy he's not funny. He's gonna go up there and bomb. And then jokes on them, because then they become a famous comic.
Then they're Kevin Hart.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was Howie Mandel.
Wasn't Howie Mandel? I think you're right.
So.
Yes, you're right.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
Like I could see that joke bit, or the glove bit.
Yeah.
That kind of coming out of like, I don't know what to do. And then it murdering.
So, Howie Mandel has a story about how because he used to start his bits. He used to start his sets by going, wait. He used to do that like over and over again till he's the king. He loved doing things too long. Right. To where they're not funny, and then they'd become funny again.
I know exactly. Yeah, there's like if you were to chart it on a graph, it's where it's like, oh, funny, and then it drops, but then it comes back up.
That's one of my favorite forms of comedy, is watching a comic who's good at doing something too long to where it becomes not funny, and then they continue to do it, and it becomes funny again. And
classic example is that Family Guy where Peter's running home, he bumps his knee. That's exactly. Yeah,
that's a perfect example of it. But Howie Mandel would do that. Like that was most of his act. Was that kind of humor. And it started because he actually didn't know what he was going to say.
Right.
And he just kept doing that, like, wait, hold on. And then it got to the point where people were like, oh, this guy's awkward. And then he kept doing it and then started laughing. And it's like, oh, this might be funny. So that then became part of his act. So it's pretty...
I heard Gilbert Gottfried, he used to do that when he would do clubs. He would go
really?
out and he would be like, oh, thank you, you're too kind. Stop.
Oh,
and when
keep
the
going,
when the applause would die down, he'd be like, no, you guys stop. It's too much. It's too much. And then it get to the point where they start laughing and applauding again. And then he just, no, guys, seriously, stop. And he would
Louis Anderson
milk it as long as he could.
Yeah. And I love that kind of, because it feels like you're in on a joke then. Like, it feels like I'm participating in the joke with, I don't know why, but it's like it makes me feel like I'm part of it then. I don't know why.
Norm Macdonald would tell a story about how Farley did that on Saturday Night Live. He'd come in the news desk and like, hey, I've got a story. So I tells this guy. So I tell him. And he just so here's what. So I tell him. But it was Farley, and he just had the charisma.
Yeah.
Like, he could
Right.
be
He
funny
could pull
just
it off, yeah.
sitting there. Plus, you add that awkward humor, and Norm Macdonald's there just dying. I mean, that's great stuff. I love it.
Louis Anderson used to do a bit, R.I.P. Louis Anderson. He would do a bit where if the feature killed, like if the feature was really good and he was worried about going up after the feature, he'd be like, if Dave went up and killed, and then if I went up, I was like, hey, Dave, give Dave a round of applause. That was great, wasn't he great? That was great. Give him another round of. Let's bring him back out. Bring him back out. Dave, where'd you go? Dave, come here. Give him a round of applause. Wasn't he great? He was great, right? That was great. That was such a great set. Like, he would just keep doing that until until it got to the point where the other comic was like uncomfortable, and then the audience was uncomfortable, and then he'd keep doing it until it became funny again, and then everybody start laughing. Like that was his go-to, and it would always reset anything. Like, he never had to worry about, like, that would always be the reset button for the show. If he never had to worry. Not that Louis Anderson really needed to worry about the feature.
Now,
Like, he was at that point, he was probably already famous and everything. But
I don't think Louis Anderson gets as much credit as he deserves.
Yeah?
and I think people understand how great of a comic he is. I don't think people understand how great of a comic he is.
he was great. I loved Louis. He had such a dry delivery, but he had such a good comic mind.
It was very classic in that sense.
Yes,
where it was
yeah.
like, this is the joke. But he had it like, speaking of, in the old jokes, the theme for
Yes.
the episode.
Yeah.
He took an old, he like repurposed an old street joke.
Oh, did he?
In a special, and it was so the old street joke is two cannibals are eating a clown. One looks to the other and goes, "Doesn't this taste funny?" He repurposed it to be like, "Oh, I'm a fat comedian. I probably look delicious, but I don't have to worry about cannibals because I'm gonna taste funny." Like he just to like take a classic like that, put his twist on it, and then boom, and just hit you with kind of like a dry, like real direct delivery, but.
All right, I have an old joke, and then we'll get to your old joke.
I don't know if we should, brother. No.
Two muffins are in the oven next to each other, and one muffin says to the other, "Man, it's hot in here." And the other muffin says, "Ah, a talking muffin."
That's so bad.
I feel better about the ones I got.
All right, so Dave, lay it on
Well,
us.
you said so. Order of jokes. You said it could be like.
It could be one of your old jokes. Or
Yeah,
it could
so
be
like
an
I had
old book
to
joke.
I had to really like delete a whole lot of street jokes that I learned when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just wrote down a couple that I remember from back in the day. There's a guy who's walking his pit bull, walking him down the street. The pit bull stops to lick himself, and there's another guy passing the pit bull and the owner on the street, and he goes, "Man, I wish I could do that." And the owner goes, "I mean, you could try, but I think he'll bite you."
I do like that one.
Yeah. This is an old dad one. Why did the golfer bring an extra pair of socks?
Why?
In case you got a hole in one.
Oh yeah, I get it.
So my dad is a huge golfer, and it was his birthday just a couple days ago. I cannot wait to tell him that joke.
Dude, let it rip, brother.
Yeah, I'm.
They like say it's a street joke. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like one of the cleaner ones I remember from back in the day.
Yeah, no, it's perfect because I do look for like golf jokes like that to share with him. So perfect. Thank you. That is awesome.
Take it, man.
Here's a joke that we used to tell in high school, and you'll see why I say high school. Where does Saddam Hussein hide his armies?
I don't know.
In his sleeveys.
Yeah, I saw that one coming. I'm like, that's so bad. I love that. I will say as family friendly as I am and have been, most of the jokes that I know from like the high school era that I remember are not.
Or
No,
not.
dude,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
So it was tough, but I did have a joke here that it was a little bit later, so still an old joke, but one of my new openers. So I went from being professionally fat. That used to be my opening line. Hi, I'm professionally fat. Makes no sense. Okay. Came out with like, hey, I wish I could introduce myself like something cool, like a doctor or like initials on the end, because I could come out here and be like Bobby Parker, like PhD, or like one of my friends like Scott Harvey, like MD, or Kyle Brown, DDS. But instead, I'm just coming out here and like I'm Bobby Parker, FAT. So. Yeah, it's a theme, right? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I get what you're doing.
Terrible joke. So that's one of my old jokes. Yeah.
I used to have a bit about me being Italian and Mormon, like I used to do a whole bit. Was it in that first set? Maybe a little bit.
It sounds familiar.
I can't remember where I'd be like, Italian guys, it's tough when you're Italian and you're trying to knock on doors and teach people about Jesus. They expect you're there for something else. You knock on the door. You're like, how you doing? It's we come with a message from a friend of ours. We hear you owe a great debt, and we'd like to come in and have a sit down and talk about it and maybe settle that debt. What do you say?
Why don't you do that anymore? I love that premise.
I don't remember all the stuff I used to say, but like I had a whole thing about it.
Dude, I love that. The other day I was thinking of this joke. I thought it'd be fun if I could do the impression, but it'd be like Tony Soprano going through the Apple iTunes terms and agreement. He's like, no, you accept my terms and agreement. Like, I just love that whole Italian like that machismo pushing it on you.
I might have to bring that back. I might have to work it out a little bit. I think I stopped doing Italian stuff like that. I used to do like an Italian character for a while when I was like trying to lean into like Joey Nickel, the mobster type guy, and I just got away from characters, I guess, but I don't know.
I've actually gone back and found some of my old material and am rewriting it to make it apply now, and I have such better takes on it. So
yeah, that's true. Maybe I should look at some of my old jokes and just kind of redo them and just kind of, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, what time is it?
It is 8:15.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's about all we have. You got any shows coming up you want to promote?
I got a couple things in July.
Okay.
But Dave Koenig Comedy.
Dave Koenig Comedy.
Dave,
is that your handle on Instagram and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Dave Koenig Comedy.
I usually pretty good about posting when I got something coming up.
And we'll try to put your handle on the notes of the show so that people can find it too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to ask how do you spell Koenig?
It's spelled Koenig, and I know a lot of people when they see the NIG at the end, they mix it up. They automatically think ING, so a lot of people will call me Dave Koenig.
Oh, yeah.
Except for when I'm in the South, and then they see the NIG, and they just put a hard R on the end of it.
So
and that was one of my first jokes, if we're going back to old joke. All right.
So there's an actor named
Walter.
Walter, yeah. He
Star Trek.
pronounces it Koenig.
Yes,
Is it spelled the same though?
It's spelled the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like people like Emery and people from Europe. They call me when they see my last name, they say Koenig. It's very different. I'd say Koenig because that's what my father said, my
Yeah.
grandfather said. So it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah, Walter Koenig, and yeah. So that's, I think when I pronounced your name for the first time, I pronounced it Koenig because of Walter Koenig.
And I won't correct
Yeah.
anybody, but I mean that I say
Not
it
about
like
that,
that
at
because that's
You will, you will correct women if you see them walking around without a man.
I mean Sharia law. We're getting there, brother.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me,
Yeah,
guys. I
thank you.
really appreciate it.
I'm gonna end the podcast with another joke my dad told me.
We gonna talk about shows coming up.
Oh yeah, we got shows coming up. All right, what shows do you have coming up?
Hey, so I actually have several now.
Oh, that's right. Oh, first let's start with the shows we're doing together.
The shows we are doing together. So,
So
July 11th,
July 11th, Bottlenose Brewing.
Bottlenose Brewing.
hmm
All right, and then there was another one later in July,
July 19th.
July 19th. July 19th. It is Emerald Vine Emerald. It's on Bobby Parker Comedy.
It is something like that. The Emerald Vine Room or something
Yes,
like
yes.
that.
It's like downtown or
Yeah.
It's J. Paul's room.
It's like modeled after Speakeasy, I think.
Yeah, I think
right?
it's a speakeasy
Yeah.
type of room.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. It looks awesome. Plus, I think they also do a brunch show sometimes. I don't know much about it, but it looks awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm also going to be here at the Comedy Zone on June 21st. Just one night opening for Michael Palachuk. And I'm going to be at Murray Hill Theater on June 28th, opening for John Reap.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm pretty
right.
thrilled. I found out about that yesterday, so I'm
Nice.
geeked up.
No?
Very good. I've got the same shows. I'm doing all his shows. No, July 11th, July 19th. I think that's all my July date. June. I don't know if I have anything coming up in June. I don't know. Yeah, that's it for now. All right. Well, here's another joke my dad told me.
Joey, I love you.
No, that was that was the biggest joke my dad ever told me. The biggest joke my dad ever told me was, "You can do anything you want." And so I became a stand-up comic. All right. Today has been National Tell an Old Joke Day. My name is Joey Nickel.
I'm Bobby Parker.
Dave Koenig.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.